It was just after 3 a.m. when the call came in. 911. What's your emergency? A breathless voice, shaking. I think there's blood on the door. My neighbor, something's wrong. The quiet town of Greystone, Oregon, was the kind of place where people still left their doors unlocked. A place where nothing really happened until it did. When police arrived at the Evergreen Apartments, it looked like any other early morning. Dark. Still. But at apartment 3B, there was something else. Blood, smeared across the door frame, trailing down to the doormat. Inside, a scene that would haunt every responding officer for years to come. On the living room floor was 24-year-old Jenna Carver. She'd been stabbed 16 times. Her eyes were still open. Her phone lay a few feet away, cracked, its screen glowing faintly with an unsent message. He's here. Jenna's roommate, a nursing student named Lisa Torres, was nowhere to be found. But what made things worse? There were no signs of forced entry. Detective Hank Colburn was the first to say it aloud. She let him in. She knew him. The apartment was ransacked, but oddly selective. Only Jenna's bedroom was torn apart. Her safe was open, her journals missing, but not her laptop, not her wallet, not even the cash tucked inside a ceramic cookie jar in the kitchen. It was a hit. Personal. By sunrise, news of the murder had spread. Friends came forward with what little they knew. Jenna had mentioned someone named Tommy. She said she'd been followed a few nights ago, that she was getting texts from an unknown number. When police pulled her phone records, the number came up over and over again, just listed as private. But there was one message that didn't go unnoticed, sent just 4 hours before her death. I know what you did in 2016. You should have kept your mouth shut. That year rang a bell. Detective Colburn dug into Jenna's past and found something chilling. In 2016, she'd been the key witness in the trial of a local youth counselor, Craig Eastman. She testified that he'd been grooming girls from her high school. He went to prison, 8 years. But according to prison logs, Eastman had been released just 6 weeks before Jenna's death. Was it revenge? The team pulled Eastman's parole records. He was staying in a halfway house in Salem, just over an hour away. When they knocked on his door, he answered calmly, I heard about Jenna. That's a tragedy. But I've been here every night. Ask anyone. He wasn't lying. Surveillance footage from the halfway house confirmed it. He hadn't left, not once. So if not Eastman, then who? For a week, the investigation stalled. Then a break. Jenna's friend Kelsey came forward with something she hadn't told police before. Jenna was scared, like she thought someone was watching her. She said it wasn't Eastman. It was worse. Kelsey showed detectives a photo Jenna sent her 2 days before the murder. It was a blurry shot, taken through her blinds. Someone standing across the street, hoodie up, just watching. Did she say who it was? Kelsey nodded. She thought it was her ex, Alex. She said he's not over her. Alex Bryant, 26, worked as a freelance sound tech. No record, no known violence, but something about the way people said his name changed the tone in the room. He was intense, Lisa later said. The kind of guy who'd text 50 times if you didn't answer once. They dated for 7 months, broke up 5 months ago. Jenna filed a police report after he showed up at her job, demanding she talk to him. Nothing came of it. No restraining order. Police brought Alex in. He didn't flinch. I didn't even know she was dead until you called me." But his alibi was weak. He said he was home, alone, playing Xbox. The console was off when police arrived. His phone had been turned off between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., the same window Jenna was killed. And then they found it. Buried in his trash, still wet, was a pair of black gloves, tiny droplets of blood on the inside. DNA confirmed it. It was Jenna's. When detectives confronted him, Alex stared at the gloves. Then he laughed. "She shouldn't have lied about me. She knew I wasn't done." His confession was cold, deliberate. "She let me in. She was crying before I even touched her, begging me to leave. But I wasn't there for forgiveness. I was there for the truth." When asked about the message, "He's here," he smiled. She always was dramatic. But the story didn't end there. Because as police searched Alex's apartment, they found something no one expected. Underneath his mattress, 3 journals. Not Jenna's, Lisa's. Written in them, line after line, were passages about fear, about hearing footsteps at night, about finding her shampoo bottle moved. The final entry, just 2 days before Jenna's murder. "Someone's been in my room. Jenna says I'm imagining it, but I can feel him, watching." Alex didn't just kill Jenna. He'd been inside that apartment long before the night of the murder. And Lisa, she was still missing. Detective Colburn issued a warrant for Alex's storage unit. When they opened it, inside, there were dozens of photos of Jenna, of Lisa, of other women, and in the corner, something that made every officer step back. A pink hoodie, torn, blood-stained, belonging to a woman named Emily Reese, a college student who vanished from a nearby town 3 years earlier. Her case? Still unsolved. And now, Alex Bryant wasn't just a jealous ex. He was something far, far worse. This wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. Alex Bryant was arrested for the brutal murder of his ex-girlfriend, Jenna Carver. But when police searched his storage unit, they found something even more disturbing. A blood-stained hoodie belonging to Emily Reese, a college student who had vanished 3 years earlier and whose case had long gone cold. And now, this wasn't just about Jenna. This was about multiple women, possibly more than anyone ever realized. Detective Hank Colburn had seen his share of darkness, but nothing like this. Inside Alex's storage unit were 43 photographs, all of women, all taken from a distance, through windows, in grocery store parking lots, walking alone at night. Jenna was in 12 of them. Lisa Torres, her missing roommate, was in 6. But 5 photos were of a woman no one could immediately identify. She had auburn hair, a coffee shop uniform, always looking down, always alone. 2 photos showed her entering an apartment building on 6th and Elmsbury. Detectives put a rush on the address. The name, Stephanie Dyer, age 28. She didn't answer her door. And when police broke it open, the apartment was empty. Neat, almost too neat. A single wine glass in the sink. A sweater thrown over the back of the chair. But her purse, phone, and keys, still there. There was no sign of Stephanie Dyer. No recent social media activity. No calls since March 11th. A full 3 weeks before Jenna's murder. That was the day Alex Bryant bought the storage unit. Police had missed him. They were just too late. The FBI was called in. Alex was now being investigated as a serial predator, possibly a serial killer. But he wasn't talking. When questioned again, he just stared at the mirror in the room. "Do you see it now?" he said. "You all thought I was invisible, but I was everywhere." Investigators combed through his apartment, his browser history, his financial records, and then they found it. A folder buried on a backup drive, labeled Moments. Inside were videos, shot through keyholes, shot from hidden cameras. One of them showed Jenna and Lisa asleep. The timestamp was 2 months before the murder. He had broken in, repeatedly. Lisa hadn't been imagining it. He had been inside their apartment at least 9 times while they slept. And the last file was labeled Goodbye_L. It was a screen recording, a video chat. Lisa, crying. "You said you'd leave us alone. You said it was over." Then a voice, low and calm. "Not for you. You always knew you were next." Then the screen went black. That was 2 days before Jenna died. Lisa's phone has never been recovered. The search for Lisa Torres expanded beyond state lines. Drone footage, K9 units, cadaver dogs led them to the edge of Marrow Creek Forest. It was a place no one would have gone without reason. 12 miles off the main road. There, they found what remained of a makeshift camp. A blanket, 2 spoons, a torn pair of leggings. DNA confirmed they belonged to Lisa. But still, no body and no signs she had ever left. Detectives believe Lisa had been abducted before Jenna's murder. That Jenna's killing wasn't a standalone act of violence. It was the cover-up, a cleanup, a silencing. Alex still hasn't been charged for Stephanie Dyer's disappearance, or Emily Reese's, but the blood on Emily's hoodie was matched to her parents. There's no question she's gone. The question is how many more? At Alex's arraignment, he never looked up, never blinked. When the judge asked if he had anything to say, he smiled. "You found the beginning," he said, "but not the ending." To this day, Lisa Torres remains missing. And as the trial for Jenna's murder looms, prosecutors have promised the charges are only the beginning. They've named Alex Bryant a patterned sociopath with obsessive, violent control issues. But the evidence is still pouring in. Storage lockers across state lines, search histories with phrases like how to dispose of a body in water, how to hide a person for 30 days, and how long does a scent last on human remains. Stephanie Dyer's mother still leaves her porch light on every night. She says it's not for Stephanie, it's for whoever knows where she is. Because light, she says, has a way of exposing the truth. But now the question remains, if Alex Bryant didn't act alone, who else knew? And why? Has no one come forward